Every film score begins with a conversation, not about music first, but about what the project needs to serve. The Chandler Film Festival's 10th anniversary, that conversation brought together Mitesh Patel, who founded the festival 10 years ago, Ricardo Yamiras, founder of RG Animation, and myself. The goal was clear: create music that supports the animation, honors the audience, and reflects the legacy Mitesh began a decade ago. Mitesh is a lifelong fan of big orchestral cinematic scores, the kind you'd associate with a 90-piece orchestra. Well, my role was to capture the emotional scale while shaping it in a way that serves the animation and the audience. My first ideas live on paper: melody, harmony, and emotional shape. And from there I move into my own publishing software. The sound library you're hearing at this stage is intentionally basic. It's not meant to impress. It's meant to be fast. I've customized my keyboard so I can translate musical ideas directly from my head into the software without getting slowed down by production detail. At this point, you're not hearing a finished score. You're hearing a musical blueprint. This stage exists to create a fast reference track for the director, using simple sounds to share ideas quickly and confirm I'm heading in the right direction before moving on to higher fidelity virtual instruments. Film scoring is iterative. We paired the first draft of the animation with an initial musical concept and shared it with Mitesh. And guess what? It didn't land. At that point, the animation was evolving. The pacing, the transitions, the emotional beats. We learned what the visuals were asking for. And once the music shifted to match that, everything started to lock together. So I wrote a second concept: leaner, bolder, and more emotionally focused. This version connected. What Mitesh heard at that stage was a detailed MIDI mock-up, designed not as the final score, but as a musical blueprint to make a creative decision. And from there, the real work begins, bringing that blueprint to life. The final score expanded into a 45-track orchestral build: strings, brass, percussion, and textures designed to feel expansive. But realism still matters. MIDI gives you scale, live musicians give you soul. And what you're seeing here are the live musicians recording their parts for the fanfare. Now, when you layer real performers into a digital orchestra, you introduce breath, micro-timing, and human nuance, the things audiences instinctively trust. After editing and preparation, the project moved from Arizona to Los Angeles. The final mix and master were handled by my longtime collaborator and partner, Mark Kiefner.
Hey, Christopher, it's Mark in LA. I wanted to thank you for bringing me in on the Chandler 10th Anniversary International Film Festival project. We got 47 virtual instruments now, and I think 8 or 10 live flutes and piccolos. Here's a little bit of the heads up about my process. This is just an auto mix channel of the trombone as it was lifted per your request, Christopher. See how it gets louder there? And then we bring it back down to accommodate the blend here. And once again, towards the end, we wanted the hits louder. And so here's louder. And louder still because you can see the sound bite softer. And then one more at the end. Man, that thing sounds live. Here's another peek under the hood. The yellow track is tambourine. When I received the files, it seemed like the piccolos and the flutes, which were played live, were not quite lining up with it. So I lined them up, shuffled them around like 8 notes at a time to get them to line up with the tambourine, which is a good guidepost for the rhythm. Buddy, it sounds like an orchestra. It really sounds live. I'm happy that the mix came out the way it did and the master, and Ricardo did a great job on the animation. And Mitesh should be proud that we have something to represent this festival of this magnitude, because it sounds like a 60-piece orchestra. It's amazing.
Once Ricardo delivered the final animation and Mitesh approved the score, the master was delivered, ready for its premiere. Each revision brought us closer to something that felt right, not just technically, but emotionally, for the festival and its audience.
Congratulations to the Chandler Film Festival on 10 incredible years. This fanfare represents what independent film does best: collaboration, creativity, and shared vision. It's an honor to be part of a legacy that began 10 years ago in Chandler. Please enjoy now the complete Chandler Film Festival's 10th Anniversary Animated Fanfare.